Silicon Valley owes $100 billion in taxes to the United States of America. Over the past decade, Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Netflix, Apple, and Google have been at the cutting edge of corporate tax avoidance. And this is not just coming from Vice media company. This is coming from all over the place. And not only is Silicon Valley not paying their fair share of taxes, but they also create jobs in countries like China with slave factories and all sorts of other sinful behavior. And to make matters worse, Silicon Valley, especially the social media giants, Facebook and Twitter, I myself has just got out of Facebook jail, 30 days in Facebook jail, have been stifling freedom of speech to the point where now, today, in fact, I think it was yesterday, YouTube's new terms and conditions mean that they can kick people off of their platform for not making enough money for them. However, how can you make money for a company when they continuously try to censor you, continuously demonetize your content, continuously try to shadow ban you, continuously kick people off of, and this is fact, it's now proven that this has happened, kicking people off of subscriber lists. I've had many people say, Commander-in-Chief, Commander-in-Chief, I've been a subscriber for years now of Arana Nation. I subscribe, I donate, I do everything. And just the other day, I see I'm no longer a subscriber on YouTube. I'm going to interview a couple people who've been through that, because YouTube cuts them off of my subscriber list because they don't like a channel like Arana Nation going up against globalism, going up against the system, threatening the system, acknowledging the system, exposing the system. They don't like it. They do the same thing to other people. Look at what happened to InfoWars. Look at what's happened to people like Press for Truth, We Are Change. I mean, it's a laundry list. Even Louis Farrakhan, for crying out loud. They even go after him. I mean, the fact of the matter is, a company like YouTube or Facebook, these oligopolies, let's face it now, TV is going nowhere. The next 40 or 50 years, people are going to be watching election coverages on YouTube, on the computer. It's going to be individuals with their own platforms. And this monopoly is threatening our free speech. But Donald Trump, the President of the United States of America, is going to bat for them. Now, this is one of the things, populists, and I know I'm going to get a lot of people who are going to be like, trust our president, and, we must don't stand by the president, don't criticize the president. I'm going to criticize, because I helped to get Donald Trump elected. I voted for Donald Trump. I endorsed Donald Trump. But that's not going to mean anything if he's not going to do anything about one of the most important and most dangerous, vital threats of freedom of speech, and that is the tech giants. Yeah, if he doesn't do anything about that, then he's not only hurting us, he's hurting himself. Because CNN isn't going to go to bat for him. NBC isn't going to go to bat for him. Facebook, the only people who go to bat for him, truly, 100%, honestly, and who give him a fair shake are people like myself, people like Breitbart and all these sort of people, all these sort of different people on the social media. Fox News, you can say they'll go for him, but even them, they themselves I mean, when Trump doesn't follow the whole neocon chicken hawk line and fires people like Bolton, even they themselves will go after him. But what Donald Trump is doing now with France, threatening France's economy, France's wine and their cheese and their products, is a form of treason. And he's doing it because Emmanuel Macron, who I'm not a fan of, but Emmanuel is saying, I'm going to tax these Silicon Valley companies who come to my country and pay virtually nothing and gain billions of dollars with our economy. That's who do you think would do something like that? Donald Trump would, if he was in Emmanuel Macron's shoes. And now again, I'm not saying that I support Emmanuel Macron. He is a globalist to the 10th degree. He is the head of globalism. In fact, compared to him, Justin, the tacky Matt Daddy Trudeau, is Tonto compared to him. Really, he is. Emmanuel is probably the most dangerous leader that the world has right now. Even more dangerous than Kim Jong-un. Even more dangerous than Erdogan. Emmanuel is a dangerous individual. If it were up to me, we would you talk about coalition of the willing. We'd be going after him. He is dangerous to individual nations, to nationalism, to freedom. He is dangerous. However, I support Emmanuel 100% for standing up to the tech giants. Because Trump certainly isn't doing it. We have been pleading with Donald Trump. We have been pleading with him. We have been pleading with him to do something of relevance, something tough against these people. But it's like Trump is like a teeter-totter. He teeters between populism, nationalism, real freedom, real standing up for what is right, and this whole neocon, economic globalist, neoliberal, money first, yay and amen type of mentality, where these companies may be doing bad things, but as long as they're making money, it's all good. It's okay. Okay, they're censoring people. They're threatening freedom of speech. I mean, freedom of speech lives in social media nowadays. There are no Paul Revere's walking the streets of New York City and Los Angeles, Atlanta, Chicago, Miami, St. Louis, Detroit, Houston, Texas, Philadelphia. There is none of that. If you want to really practice your freedom of speech, you'll do it on social media. That's the only way people can practice their freedom of speech in the 21st century. And these tech giants are threatening to destroy one of the basic rights of the American people. And I would say even globally. I would say freedom of speech should be a global right. And they're threatening it. But because America is such a large economy, the largest economy, and because they're based there, they're threatening it. And because Trump presides over there, they're threatening one of the most basic rights that Americans have is freedom of speech. It's in the Constitution. It's it's the First Amendment, I believe. I have to catch up on my amendments here. Second is guns and freedom to bear arms. And that one is also being threatened. And the first one is freedom of speech. So it's like you might as well just rip the Constitution. Just rip the Constitution of the United States. Just rip it up. Rip, tear out that page. Hang on a second. You want to just Trump is just allowing the Constitution just to be ripped. Just rip the Constitution. Just rip this rip. Just take the Constitution and just rip the Constitution. Rip the Constitution. That's what we're doing to the Constitution. We're tearing it. You're tearing up the Constitution. You're allowing the Constitution to be torn up. You're allowing the Constitution to be torn up, Donald. You know, you have done nothing to stop these Silicon Valley companies from abusing the American people. And I'm not saying that it's all entirely your fault. But for you now to go after somebody who is doing it, and people who are going after them, not saying they're going after them for any decent or righteous reason, but they're doing something, you should be following with them. You said, and Donald Trump said before he went to the UK NATO summit, that these companies, we should be taxing them. We should not allow the French and the Europeans and the British and all these people to be taxing our companies. But you're not doing anything. And I'm not saying I support taxes, but these companies are wicked monopolies. We got rid of the monopolies. We're supposed to have gotten rid of the monopolies at the turn of the 19th century with Standard Oil. Now we have new monopolies. Twitter and Facebook and all these people. They're monopolies or oligopolies, and they're destroying freedom of speech. They're destroying it. They're destroying it. I mean, just yesterday, YouTube has come up now with new terms and conditions, which mean that if you don't have certain subscribers, if you don't have certain amount of money, you can be kicked off. You can be kicked off for any, I mean, just thrown off, and no compensation whatsoever. And you can say, well, this is our company. You can go on with that neocon line all you want about it's their company, they can do what they want. No, it's freedom of speech that's being destroyed. There's no way that any American can participate in freedom of speech unless they go on social media or unless they talk to themselves in their bedroom. There's no way that can happen. Real freedom of speech that can rally people. That's the only reason people have speech in the first place. So I'm pleading with Trump. Alex Jones is pleading with Trump. Everybody. Dan Dix is pleading with Trump. Everybody is pleading with Trump to do something about these tech giants that are destroying freedom of speech, that are not paying their fair share in taxes, that are not creating jobs in America, but they're creating jobs and they're building up China to do something about these. Bring them in line. Bring them in line. Bring them in. You can do it. You've got the wall partly built. You've created jobs. You've chased away a lot of them illegals. You've set straight trade deals and made them better for yourself. They're damaging my country and other countries, but they're good for yourself. And I say, yay and amen. You're the president of the United States. But do something about these tech giants before they destroy us. Because if these tech giants destroy people like me and Alex Jones and Rebel and Breitbart and We Are Change and Press for Truth and The Blaze and all these other people, you will not get a second term. You can make all the speeches you want. You won't get a second term. You won't do it if you allow these Silicon Valley companies to go on with what they're doing. You won't win. Only CNN and all these people will have the numbers to tear you to pieces. Michael Bloomberg will tear you to pieces with all his billions of dollars in blood money. Joe Biden will tear you to pieces. Bernie will tear you to pieces. All of them will tear you to pieces if you allow these tech giants to destroy American people's freedom of speech. This is the Arana Nation.